What if Naruto was a prodigy part 4? Let's go. Naruto would continue to train more and more, getting more wise, powerful, and overall mature. He finally thought that he was ready to face the village and perhaps become a shinobi of such village. Both that, another year passed, and Naruto was now 7. Technically, still 1 year too young for the exams of even joining the academy, not even becoming a shinobi yet. But Kurama and Naruto thought that he was ready, and there had been some instances where children were let in the academy a little earlier than normally. So perhaps he could try. Even if he doesn't succeed, he can always try next year, or even the year after that. Though, if he could do it this year, that'd be great. He has a year in advance, and sooner gets to be a shinobi. Now we have to backtrack a little. Why does Naruto even want to become a shinobi in the first place? Aren't those the people that made him suffer? Made him live in a forest outside the village, yet still in his confinement? Well, yes, but in his mind, those weren't true shinobi. He wants to show the world what a real shinobi is. What a true and just shinobi is. Shinobi that doesn't have personal grudges. One that simply enacts the duty of justice. And so, Naruto wants to become a shinobi. Though, we'll probably leave this village and join a different one, or perhaps even make his own one. Who knows? All he knows for now, however, is that he wants to become a shinobi. To show the world justice. Naruto goes to the village. He leaves the forest and sees only roads for a while. But then he sees some houses, some villagers, shops, children playing. The sun's out today, and everything's beautiful. It's much better than Naruto expected. He expected a dark, sad, lonely place, but this actually doesn't seem too bad. Perhaps he'll stay in this village longer than he thought he would. It seems fun. Now, for Naruto's appearance, I was thinking something like blonde hair, blue eyes, as is in canon. And then, well, his clothes are different, obviously. He didn't grow up in the village. He had to hunt to make his clothes, along with using plants, binding them together, as well as animal leather, and all that. He had to make his clothes himself. But Kurama taught him many skills, and with time, though without Kurama's help, he learned how to knit. Because, obviously Kurama can't knit. He's, a tailed beast. Does not know how to knit. His shirt was brown, going all the way to his elbows. So, mostly covering him. And it actually had a hood, but Naruto wasn't having it on right now. So it bounced behind his back with every step he took. His trousers were more like shorts, which weren't down to his knee, which were more orange-red-ish. So the color was kinda similar to his original fit in Naruto Classic, but obviously his half hoodie, half shirt was quite different, being more brown-ish, but a light brown. His hair looked kinda different than what it was in the original series. It was much longer since he'd never cut it before. It was not really any point. Why would he cut it? Well, perhaps to make combat easier, but for now that wasn't an issue since it wasn't too long. His haircut could be described kind of like bangs, I guess. But he'd never really styled his hair before, so he wasn't aware of that at all. For him, it was just as it was naturally. Now, he asked a few people for directions to the Ninja Academy, They thought he was quite too young for that, but he made an excuse that he was visiting an older sibling of his, and they brought it. And so, after quite a lot of walking the wrong direction, and wrongly taking a left when he was told to take a right, Naruto finally arrived at the Ninja Academy. Now, Naruto was off schedule. The academy had actually started not today, but actually 2 months ago. Nonetheless, he walked to one of the classrooms, where he saw Iruka teaching a class. Now, this class seemed quite menacing. Everyone looked really serious. But then, laughter broke out. It was actually that they were just watching one of their classmates who was always the funny one, and just being quiet to see what he does next. And then, even the teacher along with them started laughing like crazy, so loud even the other classes were disturbed by it. And then, Naruto knocked on the door. Iruka told him to enter, and Naruto was unsure of what to do. He'd come all this way, but now he was shy. He'd never been in front of this many people, and even asking people at all for directions was quite exhausting for him. It was hard talking with people, and then in front of this many people, it was like a whole audience. For Naruto, it's as if we were to talk in front of a full football stadium filled with tens of thousands of people. Just for that, Naruto, well, for him, it's merely 15 students. Yeah, you heard right, only 15. This class is actually not that big compared to the class we know with Naruto, Sasuke, Ino, Shikamaru, whatever, all that. There are actually much more students. But it seems that this year, there weren't as many participants in the academy, and so this class was much smaller. But with all that out of the way, Naruto asks if he can join the class. Iruka actually thinks he's joking, and asks if he isn't a little too young for that. Iruka, after now having been a teacher for a little while, can guess pretty well a child's age, and he's guessing that this one looks about 6 to 7. Naruto looks quite young for his age, even with his long hair. But Naruto's actually a little offended by this question, and goes on to say that he's exactly 7 years and half a month old. Iruka giggles once again, and saying that, well, child, this is just simply too young. All these students are, at the very minimum, 1 year older. Most of them even more than that. So I don't think you fit in this class, I'm sorry. But next year, I'm sure you'd get in, and I wish you good luck with that, alright? Now, please, I'm trying to teach class, yeah? Thank you. As Iruka escorts Naruto out in the hallway and then closes the door once more. Naruto was really sad, and decided to sit there in the hallway and wait, patiently. He waited for about 2 hours, and then started napping. And then a bunch of kids came out of the classroom. Class was over. And then there was Iruka, who woke Naruto up, as even with all the kids being really loud, well, kids, Naruto kept sleeping. Naruto loved sleeping. He would never wake up for anything as trivial as sound. Now that Naruto was once again awake, he started the argument again. He said, "Sensei, I'm ready. Please take me on as your student along with the other kids here. I can show you a feat of my strength. We can fight. We can have a sparring match, whatever you want to call it. Let's duel. I'll show you my power. I'll show you I'm ready." And Iruka was actually happy at this. He said, "Alright, kid, sure, let's go. But first, tell me your name." as both of them exchanged names and then went to the outdoors. Basically, the backyard of the academy. Here, all the kids were already being picked up by their parents and had already left. And now it was just Naruto and Iruka. They stood opposite each other, and Iruka thought that he was going to take this slow. Obviously, it's a really young child. He didn't even have to use any chakra or whatever. He could quite literally hug him, and Naruto would be finished. So he didn't take on any stance. He didn't prepare himself for any attack. But that was a fatal mistake. Naruto, on the other hand, was quite good at martial arts, and he had actually made his own form of martial arts. As Kurama knew some martial arts of his previous hosts in Jinchuriki, but obviously not that well. So Naruto kind of made up the other half that was missing. The other half being more like 90%. As Kurama only knew a few kicks in that. So basically, Naruto made his own martial arts style. And for a kid that young, that's really impressive. But more crazy about it is that since Naruto invented him himself, it was extremely unpredictable, as he used an array of kicks and attacks and dodges that Iruka have never seen before, and frankly had a hard time imagining. Naruto's speed was incredible, as he charged Iruka, but then instead of hitting him straight onwards, he actually disappeared midair, and then kicked him from the back on the side of his ribs. Iruka was able to dodge this attack, but it still hit really hard. The kick was incredibly powerful, and Naruto was holding back. He wasn't using any of Kurama's chakra or whatever. This was not even his own full power. It was simply a normal regular kick, and not a greatly executed one either, as he'd never fought against anyone like Iruka that actually had some other tactics than Naruto's own clones, as they used the same martial arts style as himself. And he never fought against anyone from the village or really anyone else. So it was a little hard, but after only about 30 seconds, Naruto got used to it and knew when and where Iruka was going to dodge to. And he landed more and more blows, with each one getting more powerful. But Iruka had seen enough. He stopped the match. Naruto, that's incredible. Where did you learn this? Whatever this power is that you have, it's incredible. And I'll see to it that you get a written test that you complete, and then you can formally join the academy. But really, the written test is just for formality. If you can do this kind of combat at your age, I'm gonna let you in, and I'm gonna see to that. So don't you worry. Tomorrow morning, just come to the same room as you came today, and you'll take the exam, yeah? This is wonderful. You're incredible, Naruto. Now, go and, well, do whatever you want. Have a good night's sleep before the exam, though. It could be hard. It could prove to be a challenge. So, see you tomorrow, Naruto. And with that, it was over. Naruto had, quote-unquote, proved himself. It really wasn't that hard. But Naruto was quite proud of himself, and he would actually image train himself for the entire rest of the day. He pictured every single one of Iruka's moves, where he went, at what point in time. Even the single milliseconds counted, as Naruto would perfect his own style of combat with his own fighting experience and, well, his fights with other people, as well as being able to experience other people's martial arts and tactics. So even a 1-minute fight would be more than enough to make months worth of progress. So Naruto actually trained a lot that day, and even while sleeping, trained in his mind. and even the next morning made clones that fought with a style that was more like Iruka's for Naruto to practice more, as he was sure that other Chunin and other shinobi from the Leaf and probably other villages would fight more similarly to Iruka than to his own fighting style. So the more experience he got, even if it was with, well, a martial art that wasn't exactly like his, it would be great. And then, after eating a little bit, he went to the classroom once more to take the exam to become an academy student. But that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed and make sure to like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.